Hi, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of The Muse. The Muse is a space for inspiration. It draws insights from individuals across diverse fields. The intention of The Muse is to touch the heart and inspire the mind to imagine and create new ways of thinking, living, and being. The Muse has been focused since early November on communicating the language of astrology with my dear friend, Joelle Rabbaa. Welcome back, Joelle.
Hi.
Hello again, my dear. My name is Maya Abouchtid. I'm a shamanic practitioner, preparation and integration guide, energy and bodywork facilitator. And the moon, the moon, the moon, yet again, the storyteller, the element that we connect with unknowingly, unconsciously, in our bodies, in our subconscious mind, and the expression of also what some astrologers, or specifically one astrologer that talks about the moon as the people, and her name is Pam Gregory. And
It's
also,
an ancient concept anyway. It's the
yeah,
people.
yeah,
The sun
so
represents kings and
interesting.
yeah, and like eminence, and the moon is like the people. Yeah.
Beautiful. And that's what we're going through in this big human transition to, I don't know, yet another species, but it's really the people. We're in this realm of the people where change is happening on many levels, dramatically, tragedies, and also epiphanies, a lot of loss, but also gaining insights on what life is, what death is, how important it is to live every day as if it is truly a precious day, and how can we be every single day with ourselves and with each other. And we're not being, again, when we talk about things, it's like, yes, we mess up, yes, we make mistakes. How can we mend? And also,
Yeah.
how can we look at living in a way where we are more tuned with our sensitivity, sensuality, connection with the body, connection with ourselves and each other. And
Well, talking about sensitivity, this full moon is about sensitivity. It's a full moon in Cancer.
yeah, and we're gonna talk more about the, this element of water that is very much the Cancerian expression. Just starting to connect a bit more, we connect the dots also, in a spiraling way, as we like to do it, because we try to step out of linearity, especially when it comes to cycles, be it seasonal cycles and also lunar cycles, because this is how it works. It's not linear. And we just, went into the winter season in the Northern Hemisphere, and the winter solstice, and also, the spring solstice happened on between the 21st and the 22nd of December, extending from the fall or the autumn equinox 3 months ago. So there's this moving, which was very dramatic, very drastic, a lot of shedding in the fall, which is an expression of falling. The leaves fell, but many things fell in this fall. It was really visceral, and we're entering the winter, the time of hibernation, the time of even slowing down more. And this full moon is the last full moon of the year, bringing us into this bridging for the next new moon. What is the expression of it, Joelle, in terms of its positioning in Cancer, but also the highlights around it?
Yeah, it's beautiful how you just link the equinox that happened in October, and everything we went through with all our episodes as well. We tried something new. We tried, entering a new expression, let's say. And then now we just entered the solstice, which is actually the sun in Capricorn. When the sun enters 0 Capricorn, the solstice happened, the winter solstice happened. So this full moon is, well, the sun is still in Capricorn, and the moon is opposite to it in 4 Cancer, at 4° Cancer. And the moon in Cancer is a moon that is in its own domicile. The moon is happy in Cancer. The moon likes to create home, and the home is not, as if you look at it closely, home is not really a house. Home is a feeling. Home is an internal situation, right? Like you feel home in a situation or with people or in a place. So this kind of full moon is the energy feels to me like it's snuggly. It's more of it's good because we're in the nesting period, right? Like when we're in winter, like you said, we go inward even more. So I love how you linked it to, we went into fall and it a lot of things, you know, fell really. And it kind of feels to me like there is this kind of home feeling, but at the same time, home is where you're the most authentic you, the more englobing instead of separating the parts and layers of us. So when we go home, it feels like we are embracing all these parts of us that are wounded and that are grieving and that are happy at the same time and that are celebratory, but there's no separating. So that's a nice way to, like, that I like to look at this full moon. This full moon is coming like with a lot of feminine energy, because both Cancer and Capricorn are considered to be feminine signs. By feminine, we mean like the quality of the energy is feminine, right? Not the women or men, or
because the
it's not
feminine
about gender. It's more
the
like
nourishing, the feminine is the cocooning, the feminine is the replenishing, the feminine is the slowing down and, you know, eating warm food, you know, things that are very much about
and the elements of these signs of the zodiacs, like Capricorn is earth, is an earth sign, so earth is considered to be cold and dry, and Cancer is a water sign that is considered to be cold but moist. So you have like all these elements that are nourishing and that are you know, very practical, very very introvert kind of energies. And we have very nice aspects that are happening with Jupiter in Taurus and Saturn in Pisces, so as well in feminine signs. So there is like a big emphasis on, you know, inward and homey and snuggly feeling, the feeling of home. And at the same time, there are other layers happening because we're still in Mercury retrograde. You know, Mercury, the mischievous, you know, the trickster, the communicator of the zodiac, and it goes retrograde three to 4 times per year, right? However, it's always a time of a review as well. So
which is what we tapped
apart
into on the new
now
moon.
we're
Yes. And it is, this full moon feels like an extension. It really feels connecting the previous new moon, going into the next new moon, like a midpoint somehow. And at the same time, when you're talking about this feeling of, you know, just invoking this connection with what feels like home to me, what does feel like, is this body my home? Is this family my home? Is this circle of friends my home? That do I feel like home when I'm either alone and or with others? And where is, again, the balance? How much there has been there has been a lot of loss of connections in order to go deeper into what is it important in terms of connecting with what is essential for you. Would that be in resonance with or in harmony with what home can be? Because, you know, everything in astrology, as you say also, Joelle, it has, you know, the positive expression and the negative
the higher expression
yes,
and
yes.
the lower
I would rather,
expression.
I would rather
Yeah.
choose
Yeah,
those
yeah.
words, the higher and the lower. And you know, Cancer can have lower expression and it can have
Lower
higher
expression. I'll just give you like a one simple thing. At home, you are at your best and you are at your worst.
Yeah.
This is where you don't hide, right? So there is like, yes, we say home, and I can, you know, think of the feeling and the snuggling, but sometimes let's not forget some people, you know, have some very problematic and difficult relationships at home. So
Yes.
it really depends how we
Yes.
define home,
Yes. And even,
how
you
much
know,
we are, you know.
this, excuse me,
Yeah.
the definition of what family is, you know, I've been also connecting with that. What family is for you outside, it can be not
And
running.
look when it's happening.
Mm.
It's the holidays. Like people are going to their families. People are, you know, they're
Gathering
gonna
again.
be some interactions if you're having interactions with your family. So for some people, it might not be a good, you know, and please take care of yourself if you're, you know, if you know that you're triggered during the period of the holidays. It's not it. Listen, the energies are always like I read the energies like I read the weather. We can't like, you know, spit at the weather because it's stormy.
It's
The
horrible.
weather is the weather.
Yeah.
So, right? And like now we're having the storm, we're lacking light, we're feeling a bit, you know, like itchy and for some sun, but
And
at the
Mercury
same
is
time,
playing its role too with us. Yeah. Today, at least. Yeah.
yes, exactly. So there are some layers, like we went into this conversation talking about this, the currents, the overall feeling, if you're using this energy to cocoon and to snuggle and to in a safe space with people that feel home to you, this could be really a nice energy. If you're using it to just, you know, end the year in a big dramatic celebration, well, you know, we have this
Yes.
this snag with Mercury in a direct square with Neptune that is mischievous and confusing. And so if we're looking for answers, the answers are not there yet, even if it's a full moon. And normally people imagine that the moon is, you know, the manifester of their lives. And that's how we deal with the energy of the moon. So a full moon is like a full expression, but this full moon feels like a full expression that is a bit missing on some data. So it's good for you can really use it for spiritual work, for reverie, for imagination, for this is good. But if you're, you know, tidying up some loose ends, I'd suggest that we wait for Mercury to at least start its way out of the retrograde by the beginning of the year, actually the 1st and the 2nd of Jan. And or if you want more serious data, Mercury will be back to the Sirius Capricorn on the 15th of Jan.
So we are still in that review mode. We are still in that,
yes.
You know, when you mentioned the tidying up, maybe here what we can really touch on is no decisions, just no big decisions before the end of the year, beginning Jan, unless let them come your way. And when we're talking also about the feminine is
That's
very much
beautiful.
about sitting back and receiving. And the masculine is struggling here. And again, here we're not talking about gender, we're talking about the energy, the signature of what the feminine is. And the feminine is like, is nature, and nature is more like, it just is. The masculine is more like the action that is happening in nature, what movement is happening. And so when you're talking about the earth element, when you're talking about the water element, yes, the earth is fixed. Yes, it can be cold, but in the cold, in the lack of oxygen, things get born.
It holds everyone.
It holds everything. And also the element of water, you know, it's the medicine of now. It's like really the theme. There's a lot of people that are really tuned, that are talking about the importance of water in the times we are living, be it the purity of water, be it the intention that we're putting,
or the poison of the water,
and the poison, and also the expression of water in our bodies, because it takes the imprints. Water is what holds the memory also, not only the body, but it's the water.
We're 90%, I think, 90% water.
Yes, yes, it depends on our age, between 70 and 90 depends a percent. And so the imprints, what imprints have been reviewed or coming up, and you've been really noticing, and what can you sit with, and what can you not try to fix and accept? And in that expression, how can you enter the gatherings that are coming, between Christmas and New Year's, with a way to connect instead of disconnect? We're not talking about reconciling everything, but at least, if there can be an invocation before you go into that Christmas dinner or that Christmas lunch the next day or the New Year's, how can it be different? How can it be in a way where you are going in to connect with the space you are in, and also see what you would like to engage with, what you would like to focus on and give energy to, and what you would like to just sit with and feel, but know what is really your responsibility and what is the other's responsibility. Because water can be really merging things, mixing, confusing, and that's probably one of the lower expressions of Cancer. It just confuses things. It's very emotional. And so
and Mercury as well, the play in the coulisses, in the background that is happening between Mercury approaching Mars again, because Mercury has been conjuncting Mars regularly. Like we had a conjunction with Mars and during the eclipse in October, and then we had one in November. I'm not sure about the October one. I don't want to, I'm sure about the November connection in Scorpio. And then we had another one, and we have another one at the end, right after the full moon. We have a
and
conjunction.
that conjunction is what? Like what is
Mercury and Mars are like, you are approaching the archetype of communication and talk and speech, and the archetype of assertion and aggression and war. And so it's like sharp tongue can be a Mercury Mars conjunction.
Harmful words, spells.
Harmful word, spells. And we can use this. We can use it consciously. We can use it with awareness to just, maybe if you're the type that does not really speak out your mind and you're afraid to, that would be a good way to use this energy. But if you know that you already have like some problematic ways of saying things, just try not to try to be mindful. That doesn't mean that we don't speak our mind, but being mindful of the harmful words, like you said, it's really important. And the thing with Mercury, what you said is like, as well, being mindful that you're going into gatherings right now. People see each other on the holidays, whether you go to your families or not, or you have other arrangements. Mercury in Sagittarius is a good storyteller. Use this energy in this way.
Play.
data might be confusing, but Mercury in Sagittarius is very, it has a sense of humor. It's very sarcastic. It can be very sarcastic. I love, like, I know it's not the ideal place for Mercury, but if you allow it to be, like you said, allow the energies to be and to guide you, instead of just jumping on the train of, yeah, let's go, because this
Or
is the
fighting it.
mischievous part between Mars, Neptune, and
Mm.
and Mercury in this position. Be mindful of the deceit when you decide to take, like, if some things can look alluring, especially at the end of the year and the beginning of a new year. Like, something can look alluring, but they're not the right thing for you right now. There might be other arrangements if you just, sense your way again in all this confusion.
Yeah, it's really amazing because everything we are being invited to do is to just tap into those inner senses, not only what is about the external pleasure. I mean,
there will be time. There will be
there is
time and
for everything.
cycles
There's
where we
time.
are going to go outside. Like,
Indeed. And the last December new moon, it did not feel like a new moon, like a going really. It was that there was a dichotomy to it, and this full moon somehow is an extension where there's not a culmination, but yet there is enough clarity of where each one is at,
yes,
where it is in line. There's, again, there's anything we're talking about is being authentic. If there is something you hate, speak it, say it, express it, let it be communicated in order for the energy to move. Yet also be mindful that when you express something, there's a tendency either to repeat cycles of hatred and blame and shame and guilt and victimization, which also can be a cycle that, many are going through. Yet at the same time, how are you, again, digesting what is going on inside of you and also being projected on the close circle in your world to the bigger circle in your world?
The home feeling.
Sorry, Joelle, you were, you were.
No, I just wanted to highlight the culmination you were talking about. That's so true. And actually, there is a culmination, but it's if you tune into your inner compass, you will feel a culmination. You'll definitely feel it, because all these feminine signs, all these energies that are earthy and watery, they want to give you this completion feel, but you have to tune in to feel it. It's not going to be outside. It's not going to be an expression that you're going to see it like this. And people who are tuning in are sensing the shifts.
Indeed, it's really an expression from the inside out. Sometimes, that there is this, so we are always in continuous, toroidal movement from the inside out, from the outside in. The inner world is projected out, the outer world is projected in. There's no separation, but there is pain, and we cannot deny it. There is deceit, and we cannot deny it. There is, all of the, most of the people that I know have been going through a lot. There's very few people that are,
and on the international level, it's been,
indeed, and
in the region, it's been crazy. Like,
indeed,
that's exactly where you place your reading of the energies and your reading of the cycles. This is where we can do something with this. Like, you read the weather forecast and you're like, okay, this is a good energy to just, speak up my mind if I see, like, people being you know, abused, or you know, in specifically with what's happening in, you know, in our neighboring country. And
In our
it's
country.
terrible, like,
Yeah.
and in our country it's been for years. And it's, the thing is, we can use these energies wisely to keep embodying, you know, our place in the world, and keep, you know, updating our value system.
Mm.
um and you know, all this grief you've been talking about, all these feelings, they're here to do something. Like, they're here, for example,
Of
now
course.
in winter, they're here to be composted.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
can start in the spring, in the spring equinox, we will start something new. And but before that, there is need for this kind of inner pause. That doesn't mean, when I say pause, that we're not living, we're doing stuff. Like,
Indeed.
we're recording this podcast, we're doing stuff.
Yes, yes. And the world, you know, life keeps going. It's not like, but there is a slowing. I mean, winter is about slowing down. Winter is about, you know, spring is really about blooming, blossoming. Summer is all about, you know, just going out. And it's this, the energy of the sun. And it's
The
just
full
that.
moon of the seasons.
Yes, indeed. And so as we're entering this full moon, and you know, every time there's something that I would like to highlight, and every time I would like to highlight it, the energy of the full moon happens 4 days before the full moon, 4 days after the full moon, because it goes through a peak and then it starts descending. So anything you need to energize as we are in the full moon aura or auric field, you can energize it, and be aware what you focus on is where energy goes to. Just be aware. And while you're aware, there is also this awareness that I am choosing this. Own it. Own it.
Yes, take accountability. Yeah,
Taking
full
accountability. And there's also an invitation. And if there's anything we are really needing more of, especially now, is taking accountability, being responsible, and knowing that there are parts we're responsible for and there are parts we're not. We're not responsible for, but at least doing our part, at least expressing that we're sorry when we hurt someone, when we hurt ourselves, when we have been also abusing our body, abusing the way we treat this body. Saying I apologize, I'm sorry, softens, and that's the feminine. The feminine softens, it melts, it alchemizes. The masculine constructs. The masculine is going through destruction at the moment, but anyway.
There's
So
a lot of
that's,
righteousness
yes,
as
that's
well.
where there can be clarity.
That's the masculine. What's
Mm,
going on
mm,
energetically around the masculine is a lot of righteousness. And I
yes.
would like to mention an author that I love, a big storyteller and a researcher, Brené Brown, when she says, like, I'm not here to be right. I'm here to get it right. There is a lot of humility, but there is a lot of wisdom as well in
Mm,
acknowledging that we might have been wrong. We might have been on a path that we thought it was, you know, it was valuable, it was honorable. We thought our value were different, like ethics. Like, there's so much that's been at play right now. So it's okay to be not right. We're not here to be right all the time, but if we make it right for us and for other people, if we get
mm,
it right, this is where the feminine can be
mm,
of help,
mm.
to support us, to usher us forward, and then the masculine will take uh, um, its course. Yeah, I wanted
Yes.
to mention this.
Thank you, Joelle, for mentioning this. And I love Brené Brown and her wisdom and the way she has been, you know, a leader, a woman woman.
She has Mercury in Sagittarius, by the
There
way,
we go.
and
There we
she's a
go.
researcher. So,
I mean, she
but she
does that
she
very
loves,
well.
yeah, and she
Um,
loves truth telling. It's all
mm,
about the truth.
mm.
So yeah.
And so, okay, so there's this invitation for everybody as we're, you know, finishing this year with this full moon, wishing everybody a blessed time, a time to be with loved ones and really expressing love, even if it's love that requires forgiveness, even if it's love that requires tears, but really doing something different before as we enter the next year, the 2024, and as we are also preparing for a combined work together, Joelle and myself, in order to share with you in January.
Yeah.
That would include shamanic journeying and also astrological insights every month. And I'll be sharing this on my newsletter, and Joelle with her contacts and connections. Joelle, thank you again, very, very,
Thank you
very
so
much.
much.
And
Yeah.
may this be a blessed season for everybody.
Yeah.
May
May
this
it
full
be
moon bring,
graceful as much as possible. May it bring grace and, you know, peace
yeah,
for all the oppressed, and, you know, help to, you know, make things right for people
yeah,
who have been seeing a lot of, you know,
touching on more balance, touching on more
yeah,
centeredness, and also knowing what being human is about. If there's
I know
something
for
that
myself, you know, I'm
we
thankful
remind
for
ourselves
this.
of.
Yeah, I'm
Yes, yeah,
thankful for this journey of
yes,
being human. Like
yeah.
it's heartbreaking and heart-wrenching, and,
Mm,
you know, sometimes very brutal, and at the same time very beautiful. So yeah, that's the adventure of being human.
yes. Thank you again. The
Thank you
return.
so much,
May this
Maya.
return of the light be blessed. Joelle's coordinates will be in the description below. And we'll see you next year, the 5th episode
Yeah, see you next year.
of the new moon. And may you touch on blessed times, and as Joelle said, grace, grace, grace. Much love, everyone,
Take
and
care.
many blessings.